The Christmas story links the little town of Bethlehem and the nation of Israel with the East, but it also links it with the great power that is to the West, and that is the city-state of Rome, the centre of a worldwide empire. And by Jesus' time, Israel is part of that empire, and therefore all of its life is affected by it. In fact, most of the politics of Israel are entirely to do with how are we meant to deal with being part of an empire that has a completely different understanding of what God is, the nature of God and who God is, and the way that we should worship God from what we have when we're part of that empire, not by choice, but by the invading armies that have come. And there is a person who is central to this link with the great power of Rome, and that is Emperor Caesar Augustus. He is the most powerful man in the world of his day, and gives himself lots of amazing titles that are challenging to our understanding of what's happening on Christmas Day. He's the adopted son of Julius Caesar, the famous Roman general, and he slowly gives himself more influence and titles than his father had. His title Augustus means revered and majestic, godlike. He describes himself as son of the divine because there's already an understanding that when Roman emperors die, they become gods. So if Julius Caesar was a god, then Caesar Augustus is son of God. And yet he also can't wait around for that title until after he's died, and so he declares that he's a god in any case. He calls himself the father of the fatherland, which is Rome. He has total power, and he describes himself also as the chief priest. Can you hear all of the titles of who Jesus actually is being self-imposed on this man who has so much power? Doesn't even know about Nazareth or Bethlehem or people from the East or of a baby that's going to be born in a stable in Bethlehem, and yet without knowing it, through his own arrogance, he creates the scenario where Jesus is both a Nazarene coming out of Nazareth and also is born in Bethlehem, city of great King David. Because when Caesar Augustus proclaims the whole Roman world must go to the town of their origin so that he can count how many people there are in his vast empire, Mary and Joseph have to travel back to Bethlehem because of their ancestry and their link with King David, who was born in Bethlehem, so that Jesus can be born there too. But Caesar Augustus represents absolutely everything that Bethlehem is not. And then the sucker punch of the story is that most of us have only heard of this man who was the most powerful man in the world of his time, because he's a tiny little footprint in the story of the way that Jesus, the Messiah, the actual Son of God, the true chief priest to his people, the true eternal Saviour of all mankind, was born in Bethlehem. And we had to have an explanation of why Mary and Joseph moved from Nazareth to Bethlehem when Mary was about to give birth. The answer was the ignorant decree of a man who thought he was a god, and instead helped in the process by which we know who Jesus really is.